So we refer in the Silver Sales Bullet to something called our top-down method. And it took us a while, didn't it, to nail this.
Mm-hmm.
But when you know how to do it, we know it works. Tell everybody what that top-down method is.
Well, it's understanding the power of influence and how that works. And it dawned on me some time ago, and the principle I've continued to apply for the last couple of decades is to start at the top. Influence filters down. Influence does not filter up, or it doesn't filter up effectively. It filters down effectively. And I think it's critical. You may know the name of the person that you desperately want to engage with, but avoid engaging with them directly first. If you don't, you might know the designation of the person that you want to engage with, but you don't know their name. I've often, probably the person in any organisation through which I've enjoyed most progress, most success, will be the personal assistant, executive assistant of the number one in the company. The chairman, the chief executive, the managing director, quite often making calls to the States. I'm told that the English accent always stands me in good stead, so I'm told. But the executive assistant, the personal assistant of the number one in the company in the States, the president, the vice president, whoever that may be, their conduct, their behaviour, their demeanour is a reflection of the culture that prevails at the company. And so they are honour bound to be helpful. It's their job. It's their job. And I've always found them extremely helpful in explaining the nature of my inquiry. The person you need to speak to is so-and-so. Do you have the email address? Do you have the phone number? It's their job to be helpful. And that has been the primary source of success. And I would encourage people to start there.
When we get through to the person that we want to get through to, they'll be far more receptive if we've been referred from the boss's assistant.
Yeah, I mean, let's say Sue Perkins, Sue Smith, whatever the lady's name, or gentleman, whatever the name is, and you get through to someone and say, look, I'm sorry to trouble you, I've been asked to give you a call by whoever that may be. Really? And I just find that if you do that, if you go to the echelon in an organisation where you believe you need to target, there are far too many people in this world who love to say no. And to be honest with you, it irritates the pants off me. Hate it. I hate it. People just love to say, gives them some sense of authority.
Sometimes they say no before they've even heard the question. And it's because I think it's easier to say no, because if you say no to something, it means you don't actually have to do anything. Inaction is a lot easier than action.
It's people who love to say no do so because they wish to avoid responsibility.
And it also gives them a little sense of power as well. Like by saying no, they feel they're.
But you're right in saying
defended.
Sometimes you can't even get to the end of a question. They are naturally programmed. So you say, "Excuse me, do you think I go? Oh no, I haven't even. Well, what about? Oh no." They're programmed to say no and just avoid them. I often use the phrase recalcitrants, just surly, difficult to deal with people, and just avoid them like the plague. A bit like customer services. Avoid those individuals. I mean, there are some very nice people who work in customer services. The biggest problem is they have limited, often known as zero, authority. You need to get to where the decision-making executives are. Avoid customer services like the plague. Avoid recalcitrant individuals like the plague. And definitely those who like to say no. That would be my advice.